And now we're talking with Phil Weitlauf from the War Dog Memorial. Phil, welcome here tonight. It's been a while since you and I have chatted in person here at the library.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's lots going on, and lots has gone on over the last number of years. So just bring up to speed right now, or where we are right now with War Dog Memorial.
Yeah, if you kind of go back a little bit in history, it was like in 2010 when we first discovered the old abandoned pet cemetery.
Right.
The Happy Hunting Ground Pet Cemetery of Lyon Township was the name of it. And it was a mess.
Right.
And overgrown. 25 years of overgrowth. So I got with my military buddies and canine supporters, and I said, let's go clean this up. Somebody's loving pets buried there, and we need to honor that.
Right.
So we did. We gathered a mission together, and several people came out. The first cleanup day, we had over 55 people.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, when you ask for volunteers, you never know.
Yeah, a lot of times you think 2, 3, 4 people, but 55, that's a huge number.
55 people showed. And I thought to myself, I think we've got something here.
Right.
People are interested in doing this. And it took us 2 years.
Okay.
So in 2012, we actually renamed the site and filed for a nonprofit status.
Okay.
And then in 2013, we buried our first military dog, MWD Buddy, and that started it. We was trying to come up with a procedure to bury the dog. What's a proper way of burying a military dog?
Exactly.
Or a law enforcement dog.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these people have procedures. And we found that there wasn't a lot written, so we made up our own.
Okay.
And each burial that we had, we did an after-action report. Okay. What went right, what went wrong, and we kept tweaking it until we have it where we want it today.
Okay.
And
about how many burials have you had since that time of service dogs, military dogs, and so forth?
Well, up to date right now, we have interned in the ground 75 dogs.
Wow. Okay.
However, since the start of that, from 2013 on, we have now honored and showed respect to over 4,500 canine heroes with either their name on a memorial wall.
Right, which is impressive. I mean, I've been there several times, and that memorial is just amazing. It is amazing, the work that went into that, have such a neat dedication to dogs who have gone through so much and served their country. So, yeah,
and that takes us next to the highlight is in 2017 is when we had the dedication of the Vietnam Canine Memorial Wall.
Right.
We wanted to honor those dogs. It took me 2 years to get their names and tattoo numbers, but once we got them, we got the wall.
What was that process like, trying to track down all those names and tag numbers and so forth?
It was frustrating.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Finally, I hit the right person with the right connections at the DOD.
Okay.
And then, boom, I had them.
Nice.
List.
Yep.
So, and there was 4,234 dogs deployed to Vietnam.
Right.
Only 204 ever making it back to American soil.
Right.
So we said we want to honor them. They need to be honored for their service and sacrifices. And so we did. We got the wall built. And then we had our dedication. And we had about 40 Vietnam dog handlers came from all over the country to be here. And I'm standing up at the stage at the podium. We're in and up the program. And I said, all right, you handlers, go find your dog. And they all kind of scurried over there. And they ran their finger down there, and then boom, they point. That's my dog. That was my dog.
Wow.
And it was very emotional at that point. You could just see it. It was very emotional. They stayed around that wall for 2 hours later.
Wow.
Just to be next to their dog.
The memory, exactly.
The memory of it. And again, you could see it in their eyes. They put them right back in the jungle, walking behind their dog. And it was a great day.
Right. And since that time, you've done other events there as well, because obviously, and I even know even around the Memorial Day parade here in town and at the cemetery and so forth, there's always the dogs that represent there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is neat.
So, and I think the next big event that happened out there is with the relationship with the Australians. The president of the Royal Australian Air Force Canine Handlers Association had been wanting to come over to the United States and he wants to see what we did, how we did it, what did it cost us, and they want to duplicate that in Australia.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
And that was quite a compliment.
Yeah.
And he did. He did come over. Spent 3 days with us.
Okay.
And he went back with a whole bunch of ideas how they would like to do it in Australia.
Right.
But prior to his visit, he had sent a little plaque to us. He said, "Would you push this out at the memorial to honor our dogs from Australia?"
Oh, cool.
And I said, "Sure, we'll do that." So he sent this small plaque, and I looked at it and I said, "Guys, we can do better than this. Let's make him a monument." So I sent a message back to him. I said, "Send me pictures of your dogs in action in Australia."
Wow.
And so he did. And we selected several of them, and we made a regular monument for him.
Oh, wow. That is so neat.
And so I snapped a picture of it, threw it out in his Facebook page in Australia. Well, it went viral.
Really?
in
Oh, that's
Australia.
awesome. I can
I couldn't
imagine.
believe what we did for him.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, I get a message from New Zealand. New Zealand tells us, hey, we're friends with the Aussies.
That's right. They're close. They're neighbors.
Yeah, if I send you a plaque, will you present that at the monument to honor our dogs
Right.
in New Zealand? And I said, sure. So they did. And we made a nice stand for it, and we put that out there.
Yeah.
So now my mind's whipping, okay? So I says, for our dedication, we're going to dedicate this. Where's the closest Australian consulate? So I Google it. One's in New York and one's in Chicago. I said, well, Chicago's not
Close,
that far.
exactly.
Yeah. So I just got on the phone and called into the consulate. And the poor receptionist, she had no idea where to transfer me. But she said, well, Mr. Weitlauf, we'll get back with you. And I thought, well, either they will or they're going to just blow me off.
Sure.
Who knows? 2 days later, I get a phone call from a lady with a real heavy Australian accent. And she says, Mr. Weitlauf, you have created quite a stir here at the consulate. She said, everybody wants to go. But since I am Deputy Consulate General, I outrank them, so I'm coming.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So she came and she was our keynote speaker,
Oh, that's cool.
along with Phil Weitlauf.
Yes, yep.
And
Mhm.
Senator Colwell was there as well.
Okay.
And did a talk. So that was a big day. So that was the day that little plot there in Lyon Township became international.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Yeah, you got the United States, Australia, and New Zealand dogs being honored,
Yep.
along with the law enforcement dogs. So it became pretty big.
Right.
So, but again, the dogs that are coming in to us today, since we started videotaping burials, actually,
Right.
putting it out on YouTube, and they're like 4 or 5 minute, real
Mhm.
quick, and that spread across the whole United States.
Right.
So we started getting dogs in from Camp Pendleton, California,
Wow.
from Fort Dix, New Jersey,
Yep.
and then dogs that had been retired, and the handler had adopted them, started bringing them in.
Okay.
They came in from Texas, Louisiana, New Jersey, Maryland, Indiana, Ohio.
It's amazing how a small little plot of land in Lyon Township has really impacted internationally as well as all around the U.S.
All
as well,
around the
and
US.
really provides that time to honor those dogs who have just put their lives on the line so many times and just been there for their handlers.
Yep. Well, they wanted their dog honored that way,
Mhm.
and because we don't advertise, it means word of mouth. But once the dog is interned out there, he's memorialized forever now.
Right,
He
exactly.
has his own headstone. I mean, he's going to be there forever. When people walk by and read his name, and he lives on.
Yeah.
You know?
There's so many stories behind each of those stones.
Oh,
and
every
it's
one.
just
Every one of them.
amazing. I know when I was out there in the past and attended some of those events, just hearing the stories of the handlers talk about their dogs and
Yep.
just the commitment and the relationship they have with their dogs.
Well,
It
the
just
bonding is
the bonding, exactly.
unbelievable.
Exactly.
It just tears their heart up when their dog leaves.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Exactly.
But I think what really got on the videos, and again, when we set up our procedure for military burial, and we do the same thing for law enforcement, same procedure.
Right.
But we have a bagpiper that comes.
Yep.
And then we have behind the bagpiper in a procession, we have a color guard.
Mm-hmm.
And then behind him is the handler with the ashes.
Yep.
And behind them, we've got 12 German shepherds escorting him
Right.
up the path of honor. We have a table set up it's called the Table of Honor, and he can put any display about his dog on that table.
Right.
We have a chaplain from the Air Force. Does the invocation. Then we ask the handler to come up and tell us about his dog.
Oh, cool.
Now that is
That's getting emotional.
difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult. But I say to them, you owe it to your dog.
Right.
And they say, you're right.
Yeah.
And they will get up there and they'll struggle through it.
Sure.
But they tell their story. How many times the dog saved their life, what happened. Some of them get a lot of amusement in it.
Sure.
It happened. It was kind of funny. But that, we like that.
Your dogs have the personalities too.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Most definitely. So then after that, we give him a folded American flag in honor of his dog. Picket Guard Riders gives him a plaque. We have an artist on staff, and she takes a headshot picture of the dog prior to the burial, and does a sketch for him.
Oh, wow.
And presents that to him.
Wow.
So, and then after we do that, we play taps on the bugle. Then we do Amazing Grace on the pipes.
Oh, cool. That's got to be emotional too.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
And then we have 4 of our dogs that have been trained to howl on command.
Right.
And it's called a canine salute to their fallen comrade.
Cool.
And they howl for 21 seconds.
Wow. That's
Same relationship to a 21 gun salute.
right. Yeah.
It's 21-second howl. And then when that's done, we finish it with the missing dog formation, where the group starts on one end of the path, walking single file, and they get up by the stage, one breaks out, disappears behind the stage as that unit continues down the path with that void there.
Right.
All at the same time, we're playing the music of Linda Ronstadt, Goodbye My Friend.
Oh, wow.
And that's when my wife walks around with the Kleenexes.
Exactly. I can imagine. I could imagine.
So that's what we do, and it's spread across the whole United States, the ceremony that we do, and that's why the handlers are coming from everywhere. They want their dog recognized that way.
Right, right. Now, if people want to find out more about the War Dog Memorial, is there a website or a Facebook page that they can go out to?
Both. We have a website, is mwdm.org,
Okay.
and then we have the Michigan War Dog Memorial page, Facebook page, in which I'm probably on that almost every day.
Okay. So if someone has a message or a question, you'll be tracking it
Oh,
and
yeah.
responding.
And even on our website, there's a portion where you just send a message. You can send me an email right off
Right.
the website. So
Perfect.
that tells that we can handle whatever question they have.
Right.
And and
Well, if you can handle the Australian consulate and the New Zealand consulate and so forth, I definitely think most common questions can definitely be handled pretty easily.
yes. But I have to say also to the people, the residents of South Lyon and the surrounding area, people have really stepped up to support this.
Yeah.
And we've been supportive not only with work being done out there, volunteers, but then corporations in the area have stepped up and they've really helped us out financially
Yeah.
to put all these monuments out there.
Right, right. Well, when you start on a good foot, when you have 55 people showing up the very first time, you definitely think you're onto something where
That's
it's impacting the community around. And I think, again, people see, the impact that these dogs have had in the lives of their handlers and how, it's really, served their country is just amazing.
Yeah. So, and it's become my passion.
Right.
I'm retired and it gives me something to do.
Yep. Well, every time I hear Phil Weitlauf and the War Dog Memorial, they're kind of synonymous with each other. So.
One thing that we did make a slight change to, not slight, it's a big change coming along, is I'm bringing on the next generation.
Right.
And I've got 3 people that I'm tutoring right now. I'm still going to be in charge.
Right.
But if I ever get up one morning and I can't do my duties, I have someone that can just take over, just a smooth transition.
Exactly.
And carry it on out. So
Wonderful.
we don't want what we did to fade away because
To another 23 years of overgrowth. So
Yeah,
don't want
right.
that to
We don't
happen.
want that to happen.
Exactly. Well, Phil, thanks so much for coming out here tonight and talking with us about the War Dog Memorial.
Good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.